did we talk about Adam22 and his wife yet?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, so his wife, Lena the Plug, recently did her first...
How do you say it?
It's Lena the Plug.
It's Lena? It's not Lena?
See, I thought it was Lena, too.
So Adam22's wife recently did her first corn scene with another man than her husband, only weeks after they got married, by the way.
See, you don't even need Disney to degrade degrade the relationships between men and women and sexuality.
Influencers are doing that job just fine.
Yeah. It's clearly not a good marriage.
You can't escape.
I don't know if it's even a marriage at all. I don't know why someone would get married if this is what marriage looks like to them. And they even have a child together.
Wait,
it's
really?
Yeah, it's scary stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Adam22 has started hitting on
storming
Pearl.
outside.
I can hear the thunder.
Okay.
I think that God is like kind of ready to smite us.
I was like typing second crisis party into the chat, and then I just hear from outside. Holy crap.
I wasn't sure if that was like the skateboards or something.
No,
Adam22 has now leveled a proposition at just Pearly Things.
Also, not her first scene. Not her first scene.
It's not?
No.
That's what everyone was saying, is that it's her first scene with another man.
They're saying no in the chat.
Adam22 needs to debunk this himself.
I'm going to have to go do some research, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back.
Adam22 replied to Pearl Davis on Twitter. She was talking about this situation, saying, like, how can any man respect you, let alone any woman? After you've done this, you're openly cucked.
Sounds true.
And he said, I'll give you $1 million to come on Plug Talk and experience your first threesome.
Big super chat from Beanbag Actual. No
the whole
message.
House just shook.
Literally, guys, the house is shaking. So,
God is angry.
Beanbag Actual, thank you so much for the super chat. And another one
last
from
of my kind said, if the AC went out in the theater in Texas, you know there's some guy that has one of those portable ACs mounted on the back of a truck that was just backing into the theater. God bless Texas.
That's what we need.
Take some ice.
I think you're right. I think God is very angry at Lena the Plug and Adam22 right now.
I think so too.
As he should be.
He said, you got to live a little, Pearl. And she replied to this and said, the audacity, I don't need your money and I have a dad, Adam. And he said, just talk to your dad. He said it's chill.
That was actually a fairly clever response. I was okay with the response. They all deserve each other.
Adam22 is very pathetically trying to be in on the joke while everyone is obviously mocking him for being a cuck, but it's not working.
Or is he just the ultimate capitalist?
I'm not buying
willing
into
to debase his own relationship and sense of self just to make money.
Pearl Davis also said,
probably a combination of both.
If you like me, say you like me. Stop hiding behind Plug Talk. He realized he needs to stop dating feminists.
Lights flashed. Yeah. Holy crap.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm feeling some demonic spirits might be like interfering with the technology in the studio.
I just saw it like show up on the screen. Like
this Adam22 guy is clearly
God is not happy with you, Adam.
A lot of help.
God says Lena and him need to work things out quick.
Yeah.
And Lena has also come out and said that she enjoyed having sex with another man than her husband more than her husband.
Look, you don't just the point of the story is this. You don't have to just worry you don't have to just worry about Disney harming your children. You have to worry about every single piece of media they consume. Whether it's podcasts, whether it's YouTube, like we were
talking about that earlier. Instagram has literally admitted that they are negatively impacting specifically young women.
And just because of it's harming their self-image.
Yeah.
I mean, but they've been doing that's been going on for decades.
I mean,
so now they actually have internal studies that they conducted now that have like come to the light and they know what they're doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Facebook did those studies years ago where they said we needed to find out what was going to help move, get people to click on stuff. And we found that people being pissy and angry is what really gets people to click. And like I said, you do not expect a corporation to act like a human being. If the chart says make people angry, then they go, guess we got to make people angry then. And then you get into the discussion where these companies always talk about their code of ethics, what their mission statement is. I'm guessing that nowhere in the Facebook mission statement does it say make people feel nice and pleasant and happy. It says get people to click. And
it's even worse than that too, because obviously with like Instagram, their algorithms are almost like at least this is what they were reporting, that their algorithms were out of control. They actually tried to like take down people were like using certain phrases to find pictures of children on there. And so Instagram literally manually went in and like took it down, but a week later, the feed had picked it back up and created that network, rebuilt the network.
That is insane.
The entity.
For those people.
It is. It's the entity.
That's what they claimed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe them, but that's what they were saying.
Yeah,
why it was back up.
If you plop your kid in front of Disney Plus, that's a bad idea. But it's not a better idea to sit them in front of an iPad where they're watching the YouTube algorithm take them down a rabbit hole, or TikTok or Twitter or Instagram or any of these platforms. It's not any better just because it's social media, obviously. And
yeah, you don't want to overdose on any of this stuff.
Yeah, like, and the funny thing is I'm like, I notice it. Like, there are nights where like I have to be very careful at what time. Like when I finish work, like if I don't decide to go skate right after work, the lights are flickering again. Like if I end up like scrolling on my phone for too long, and that's not even looking at anything necessarily damaging. It's just bad for you to sit there and consume
especially
content
right before
that way.
like you're going to bed or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and then you can like your mind starts racing about like everything, and you like can't sleep.
Last night I was like, it was
Horrible.
like 9. It was like 9 p.m. I was half listening to the show while they were doing it, and I was scrolling through my phone, and I just hit a peak where I'm just like, I got to get out of the house. So I just went and skated till like 11:30, just because I was like, I need to go and do something that's not sitting on my phone.
I try and read now. I've been doing a lot more reading, like obviously not on my computer, but like actual physical books.
Exercise for me, it's like I try to skate 3 to 4 times a week, and so there's like Saturday and Sunday I skate a lot, so there's a natural gap between Monday and Tuesday. I usually take those days off these days, but otherwise I have to find the time.
Thank you.
I have to find the time.
I totally thought that was the thunderstorm at first.
Maybe that's what will get a sound of thunder for the next Crisis Party. But like I'm looking at stuff where I'm very boring and look at the same stuff all the time. Kids are more inquisitive and are going searching for stuff, and they're finding themselves in horrific places.
I mean, you don't even have to search for anything. The algorithm will take care of it for you.
Exactly.
Somebody in the chat says, does reading
Which
comments...
can be helpful sometimes, obviously.
Does reading comments count as reading? I do my best to not read the comments ever. It's not... Like, I get stuck reading them sometimes when I refresh the page, and I'm like, oh, that was mean. That was very mean. Not very nice at all.
Reading the comments is definitely a rabbit hole that you can get stuck in.
It's not a good thing. And it does, like, I'll put it this way. You never leave happier. Even if they say nice stuff, you usually don't leave happier, because there's always one that comes through and just ruins all the nice stuff.
Usually not going to be...
That's usually the one that you focus on.
You're not going to be happier after doom scrolling on Twitter either. I mean, I'm just scrolling and I see, beheading video, guy jumping off a building. Clown World.
ISIS bomb. This is great.
It's a Clown World video about like drag queens coming for your kids.
This is what Mary's algorithm is, because she has to do the cringe of the day here.
Yeah, I'm doing the real hard work. I'm a laborer.
She does. Like every so often, like when she was out of town, like we just didn't do cringe some of the days. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not subjecting myself to that.
No, before I went out of town, I just spammed you with like 10 different cringe of the days.
I didn't use all of them. There was a couple of them that seemed kind of mean that I didn't use, but the first
nice guy Brett.
No. It's just I feel like maybe you'd have had more insight to them than I did, because it was just, like there's the one video of like the guy at like the football game. Do you remember that? Like,
they have him go through an obstacle course.
I didn't,
and he can't do it because he's fat.
I didn't show that. I didn't show that one. I'm like, it just feels mean to show that one. If it had been a celebrity, it would have been okay.
If I weren't here, I know this would be a lot more wholesome show.
It's
you got to deal with me.
I didn't say it was wholesome. I just said that those somehow the videos are worse. Like celebrity cringe, I'm fine with, but when it's just some random person, I'm like this. Or I did see a great one yesterday where it's a guy and a girl at it's like a basketball game, and he gives the girl a kiss, and he sees that he's on the camera, and he just immediately goes rigid and takes his arm out. He's very clearly cheating on his wife. And got caught, and just his face just becomes sad and forlorn. And if you're into the idea that he's had what's coming to him, if he had just played it off, nobody would have ever known. It would have just gone by. Does his wife watch pro basketball games? Probably not. But his reaction meant it ended up all over the internet as a very clear example of a guy.
He probably got his comeuppance.
Yeah. He got what was coming to him for it. But
he knew what he was doing was wrong too, though.
Yeah, absolutely he did. So, it's not just Adam22 and his wife that are out to damage you.
It's so ironic because I think Pearl wants to position herself as someone who's like opposing this type of degeneracy, but at the same time tells women that if you get married to a quote high value man, or any man really, then your necessary bargain that you have to enter into is that he's allowed to sleep around and you're not. And fidelity is not something that you should expect from a high value man in a marriage. And you can't expect men to hold any promises or have any sexual discipline, because that's just feminist garbage, right?
Yeah.
Like, she clearly is promoting the same type of degeneracy when you look past the surface level.
I don't really follow her, so I can't
it
really
is
comment
one
on
of her
that.
unironic takes.
Okay, but
that,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Ladies, cheating isn't the worst thing in the world. If you're dating a high value man, you might as well expect him to, and it's okay.
It's not exactly the message we want to be sending our young women. It's not.
It's so blackpilling if you have no frame of reference. If you're just some teenager like watching these clips online, and Pearl asks a panel of men, like, how many of you would cheat on your wives if you were allowed to do so, if you didn't have anyone catch you? And they all raise their hands.
Really? That's
if
sad.
you see a clip like that and you don't have a frame of reference for like normal, sane people who obviously wouldn't raise their hand or agree with that sentiment in any way, then it's incredibly blackpilling, and it in fact disincentivizes women.
How old were those men?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But it disincentivizes the viewers, especially women, from even entertaining the thought of getting married and settling down one day. And it's disgusting.
It's sad. That's very sad.
A big part of it is that in a lot of ways, the differences between men and women in what we would used to call the battle of the sexes has been monetized so heavily, both on social media. Like I will admit, some of the funniest content on Instagram are videos that poke fun or talk about, the differences between the sexes. And depending on what your worldview is, some of that can be very, very painful to hear if you're not used to hearing stuff like that. But also, whether it's feminists talking about the differences between men and women, or red pill people talking about the differences between men and women, we live more increasingly digitally, and our physical, real world relationships are being given, the advice being given about them is being a means of monetizing for a lot of people. And that's not always a recipe for the most rational or tame of content. It incentivizes those people to increasingly make more and more divisive statements, because there's a grain of truth to a lot of what's being said. And I'm not a fan of that stuff, but I understand the entertainment aspect of it for a lot of people. But I also don't think that you should take Adam22 and Lena the Plug as your best relationship advice either. There should be a middle ground there somewhere.
They made a video where Adam22 bought his wife a Lamborghini as a congratulations for having sex with another man. This is obviously not what should be your model for a successful relationship or marriage.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media, and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.